Hey, everybody, welcome back to Success Secrets Revealed with Ronald Couming, your host. First, I want to talk a little bit about the show, how it came about. Then I'm going to introduce our sponsor, and then I'm going to talk a little bit more about our amazing guest today. We have with us Monica H. Henderson, and she is the president and founder of MinkLife Motivation. You really want to hear what she has to say. It's amazing. I've heard a lot about it already. So first I want to talk about Success Secrets Revealed came about. I have a radio show called Internet Marketing and Business Solutions with Ronald Couming. It aired weekly. We had a 1.7 million reach, but because of COVID, the radio station wasn't manning it, literally having people go in, so they're just running reruns. I didn't want to stop contributing and doing live interviews and bringing value to our listeners, so I created this live stream. And what I do is I take out the audio, I send it to the radio station. They put it in their rotation. At some point, it will play to that 1.7 million people. But also, these videos that we're doing live are going to be shared both by myself and the guests throughout all the different social media platforms. So we're actually going to reach a whole lot more people doing it this way. So I'm really glad that we pivoted, because it's just going to bring so much more value to our potential, to our listeners and viewers. And it's all about service, right? And none of us, I don't get paid to do this. My guests don't get paid. My guests don't pay to come on. And we don't have a sponsor other than my company. And now I'm going to tell you our sponsor. And that's me. I pay for it. RCS Online Solutions. We're basically a digital marketing company. We help business owners and entrepreneurs attract, convert, and retain their ideal customers and clients to achieve even greater success. At the end of the day, you can have the best products, the best service, and the best solutions, but if people can't find what you're offering, if they can't find you, they're not going to be able to hire you and utilize your services, right? So awareness equals opportunity. That's what we do, and we often get people ranked before they even pay us a penny. So you get your results before you pay us. Now, the best part about our show is our guest, okay? And again, our guest's name is Monica M. Henderson. She is the president and founder of MinkLife. I almost thought it said mind, and I was like, oh, sorry. But MinkLife Motivation. And it's pulled by a vision, pulled by her pain. Monica M. Henderson created MinkLife Motivation principles to bring change to the entrepreneur world. Monica went from a single, homeless mother without any business prospects to becoming a jet-setting wife, socialite, and business mogul, living her dream life. Monica unveils how creating a strong vision for your life and your business will change lives and help you live more healthy, wealthy, and fulfilled. You can reach Monica at www.minklife university.com. And now let's bring on Monica. Monica. Hey.
Hey, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate this opportunity to share and kind of spend some time with you this morning.
Thank you so much. And we've had some great guests, and you fit the bill right away. I mean, you were, I don't want to say being a single homeless, being a mom, and, that's a great thing. But now you're a jet setting and social. I mean, how do you go from one to the other? Can you please tell us a little bit more?
Well, the reality is, I, like most people, were just kind of living the life that was kind of set in front of me. So something would pop up. I would say, okay, try this. I'm sorry, did you lose me?
Nope, go ahead, you're there.
Oh, okay. I would just kind of make decisions as they presented themselves, not really kind of being pulled by a vision necessarily, but really more pushed by my pain. So when something would go wrong, then I would quickly pivot, adjust and kind of tweak things just to get to the next level, or just to get to the next comfort level. And what really kind of changed my life was a series of unfortunate events where I was homeless, and not homeless like living on the street, but homeless like, you know, living pillow to post, staying on people's couches so that I could figure out my next move. And I was able to take a week. I told my friend, can you watch my child for a week? I'm going to go look for a job. And I didn't go look for a job at all. Actually, what I did was I went into this internal visioning for myself. And I said, you know, I have nothing to lose now. I have no home. I have no job prospects. I have just a 2-year old, a dream, and I think I need to kind of make some decisions that are directly correlating to what I really want for my life. And I did. So I spent a week. And essentially, what that week was, I turned into the program that I have today. Over the years, I've refined it, of course. But that week is all about setting a new vision for who you are and what you want based on selfish factors. And once I realized that if I can be selfish about what I want, then I can give everybody else around me what they want. And so that was the case. I did the inner work. I pulled myself up. It took probably about 4 years to go from, you know, in that struggle to actually kind of being all of those things that you mentioned in my bio. And it was because I was living every single day intentionally, and I was making decisions that were only in alignment with what I really want for my life, and not settling for anything outside of that.
That is huge. I absolutely love that. And one thing I like, you just pointed out about how it took you 4 years. So a lot of
Yes.
times people will see people at whatever success level they're at,
Hmm.
4 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and they'll think that, you know, this is where they're at. And they'll say, I wish I could be there. They don't realize that there was 4, 5 years, 6, 10,
Yes.
12 years, multiple failures, multiple trials, multiple,
Yep.
you know, mental and emotional pain and financial loss, whatever it was, that then they got to that point. No, very rarely do you have an overnight success. So I love how you pointed out that it took you 4 years to get there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And the other thing is how you pivoted. I mean, you were literally rock bottom. I mean,
Hmm.
you were at zero, and you know,
Yeah.
mindset, and sometimes that's a blessing, because when you can get your mindset to zero, all you're doing is going forward. So
Yeah.
you know, you didn't sit back and say, well, me, the world owes me something, you know, whatever the excuse is. You sat back and, you know, saw your situation and said, I want something better. What do I have to do? And you just created it from in. And I
Hmm.
love that. You know, myself, I have, you know, a similar history. And some our last guest did. And you'd be surprised how many people who are considered successful today come from way, you know, stories that you can't even believe, and
Yeah.
overcame it. So it's so much a mental game.
Yeah. I think once I started owning the fact that I was in my own life by choice. Like that was the life I had chosen. And it wasn't that I had woke up one day and was like, oh, I'm going to be a homeless mother, you know, sleeping on someone's couch. It was little choices every day that I was making that put me in that position. And so understanding that every single solitary choice that I'm making is either getting me closer to what I want or further away from what I want, and taking ownership of that like my life is what I made it to be. Every person is living the life that they have chosen, whether or not they want to live that life or not. And so for me, it was really a matter of, now how do I begin to make the right choices so that I am choosing my greatness, that I'm choosing my best self, that I'm choosing the life that I really wanted to live always. I've always wanted to be a jet setter. I've always wanted to do business internationally. I was a little kid playing, you know, with my lunchbox as a briefcase. Back then, briefcases were a thing in the 80s, with the briefcase, and I would
Hey, I
pretend
remember
that
the
our
lunch boxes as briefcases and being
and
important.
you
You know
know,
what I
and
mean?
I would shuffle papers and I'd scribble and I'd pretend that I was on the phone on international business calls speaking languages that I didn't speak at the time, and pretending like I was on an exotic
Oh my
beach.
God, I love it.
Like that was who I was as a kid. So to my core, I wanted to be this person, but I had made so many decisions that took me further and further and further away from that, that I found myself nowhere near it. And so when I hit that space of no more, when I hit that space of I can't do this, not one more time. I could not look at in my 2-year-old's face and see her and all that I want her to be, and push what I wanted for myself onto her. Right? Because a lot of the times that's what parents do, right? We don't live out our own dreams, so then we push it out on our children. Well, my kid's going to be the doctor because I can't, right? Or my kid's going to change the world because I can't. I said, no, I did not want that for her. I wanted her to look at me and see a role model. I wanted to be the woman that I wanted her to grow up to be one day. And so it was that moment, of sleeping on that fold out bed in the living room with one of my friends. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. I will never be in this spot again. And the only way to do that was to make those decisions to go towards my goal, towards my vision. The
Yeah.
beautiful part is I captured it all, the whole transformation,
Wow.
in writing. So I journaled the entire time, and there were different exercises that I did to kind of change my own mindset, that I captured. And so I've created a coaching program for your personal business network and your brand development that's based on those same principles that I taught myself in order to come out of the depths, right? And so I am sharing that now with the world. My renewed sense of purpose is no one else should have to go through what I went through because I've already went through it. And if I can share it with them so that they can avoid it, then everything I went through was not in vain. Everything that I went through was absolutely for the purpose of saving another soul. And so that is my driving force. That's my motivation. MINK stands for Motivate, Inspire, Network Knowledge. And all the time in our program, we talk about what's your motivation. And my current motivation is to change the world one person at a time, teaching them how to live healthy, wealthy, and fulfilled, and being able to get them in business or in their work life, being able to be the best possible person in that space as well. So
I love it. And I'd like to touch on 2 points. One is in the very beginning, I did in the introduction to the show for all 5 of you. Did you see how I put down, a smart person learns from other people's mistakes?
yes.
A smart person learns from their mistakes, right?
Mm-hmm.
A genius learns from other people's mistakes. So
Yep.
that ties in perfect. So once you have gone through it and you've learned from it and you put it out there, other people won't have to go through it because they can learn from your mistakes instead of making their own. And that's one of the reasons I love this show. I usually in some of my headlines, I'll put down, from people who have been there and done that. So you don't have to go through that. But the other thing is, I want to give you big kudos because, a lot of people get into that zero mindset, that they get to zero, right? And when they get to zero, they kind of stay there. Well, they make plans or they write things out, but they don't take the action, or
Yes.
they don't take the action. They certainly don't take massive action, but they don't take. And some people don't even take any real action. They sit down and say, well, I'm going to do this, and eventually I'm going to get into college, and I put in an application.
Yeah.
I put in
The
four
create vision board.
applications. Yeah, I put in 4 applications, and nobody called me. Really? Well, you know what I mean? There's 4,000 people out there. There's 4,000 places, and there's, 1,900 people sending that. They didn't even see your application. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So why don't you follow up? Like I guess was saying earlier, send them a card. Send them a brownie, something with your application in a bow, by the way, you know what I mean? And, but I like how you took the action and you were consistent. Greg Reed talks about that in Stickability and 3 Feet from Gold. And he talks about it in some other things about taking massive action.
Yeah.
And so doesn't Grant Cardone. He talks about taking massive action. So I'm a big fan of, I follow a lot of people. I listen to them. And they've helped me tremendously, and I learned from them. So I just wanted to give you kudos that you were in a really bad place, and a lot of other people are too. But you took that massive action to get out of it. So you need to take a little credit for yourself too, because not everybody's done that. You all right?
Yeah, I mean, and what I have done in my program is systemize that action, right? So yes, it's easy for someone to say, "Oh, well, it's just because she had it in her," right? That she had that get out of it spirit, and it really only took a moment of courage at a time. I'm always scared, and someone asked me, when did you get so confident? How did you get so confident? It's like, no, I'm not confident at all. The social anxiety that I that I lived with as a child still exists in me. But every day I take a little moment of courage. And in that moment of courage, I do something that forces me outside of my comfort zone. So when I was going through that changeover from, being in that space of being down, to kind of coming into this new space, every decision that I made was uncomfortable. Every last one of them. I was living 20 miles from where I really wanted to live. And so I would only accept jobs in freelance positions far away from home because that was really the neighborhood that I wanted to live in, right? The comfortable decision would have been to find a job around me so I can make some money and get out of the situation I was. But that would have just put me in a perpetual spiral of the same. What I really wanted was to live in Los Angeles. Where I lived was 20 miles out of Los Angeles. And so I only looked at jobs that were in Los Angeles. And it took me 2 buses. It took me an hour and a half to get everywhere I needed to go to get there. But that being uncomfortable for that moment, now I live in the heart of downtown Los Angeles, in the dream neighborhood. This is my forever neighborhood. And had I not made those decisions back 10 years ago, I would not be in the position that I'm in now. Being able to really create that understanding that change is uncomfortable. So get comfortable with change. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Is really kind of something that I want people to take with, because the discomfort that you'll feel with change is short-lived. The discomfort that you will live with the longevity of you being in a space that you don't want to be in is so much longer. That is, to me, the definition of hell, is being in a perpetual state of unhappiness, right? And you want to live in that undercurrent of joy. You want to live in that space where even when things are kind of going wonky, I mean, we had a hellish 5 days of riots in my neighborhood. It was hellish. But in the end, I still had an undercurrent of joy because my family, I have the family that I want. I'm in the space that I want. I was still working with people who I love and enjoy working with, and they motivate me and they feel me to no end. So although I was going through it because there was chaos in the world, I had that undercurrent of joy because I was really uncomfortable for a set of years, working 7 days a week, taking on jobs that I thought were beneath me so that I could learn the skills that I need to learn in order to move in the next direction, right? That discomfort back then led to absolutely greatness now. And so if we can all just get get comfortable with being uncomfortable, right?
Yeah, I love I love all that, but the planning of it, man. I mean, you were like systematic.
Yeah.
When you were looking for jobs, you wanted to live in a certain area in LA, and so you were 1099, whatever it was. But you would literally only look in that area, knowing it would take you 2 buses and an hour and a half each way to get there. But because that's where you wanted to end up, it wasn't that's where you were going for a bit of time to work, make money, because you could have probably worked within a 3-mile radius.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, save the transportation, save that extra time. But to me, that's systematic in the longevity that you stuck with it. Kudos to you, man.
Yeah.
Who does that?
Now I walk to everything. So I walk a block to the grocery store, to Whole Foods in one direction, to Ralph's in the other. Now I walk to shop. Now I walk to museums and concerts. I'm 2 blocks from Staples Center, right? So now I walk everywhere. The convenience that my life has now was because the discomfort of the building stage. And I was very systematic and I was very strategic. And that is not something that only I can have. Anybody can have that. You just need a blueprint. And so that is what our program is all about, is giving you that blueprint that gives you a direct straight line to what it is that you really want and what you really truly want. Not that like PC, and everyone has that, oh, what I want, what you tell other people. And then there's that what I want when I'm quiet with my own thoughts. And I want people to live with that want, the one that you're quiet with your own thoughts. What does that look like?
And I love it, because that right there brings us to a great point of learning. You don't want to take financial advice from your broke brother-in-law, right? So you're giving, you know what I mean? It's not going to turn out well for you, right? So you've been in a certain set, but you had such rigid, systematic rules. I mean, I've done this. I've been on the stages for years. I've never heard a couple of things you've said to me in terms of what people did. I've heard a lot of things that people have done to set them on a certain path and keep them consistent. But, deliberately, I want to live in that neighborhood. It's, it's a 2.5 mile. I got to take, an hour and a half each way buses. I could work somewhere, but to go through that just because that's where you wanted to live. I mean, you had that vision and you just created it. But what makes it really possible for other people who might not see it as being possible is you now have laid out your thought process, how you did it. So now if they just literally go down the list, 1, 2, 3. First is get your mind right. 2 is find out what it is you want, right? And then write it down and then start using your system to create it and manifest it because,
that's the beautiful part. When you come to my system, you don't even need any of that. The system is built in, right? So it's built in from this resetting your mindset. There's a whole section. There are 5 basic stages that we go through where we reset your mindset. We really think about what it is you really want and what you like. When things go right in your life, how does it feel? When things go wrong in your life, how does it feel? We look at how what your true vision is, and you get to write that out. Like you get to live in this imaginary space because I believe everything is possible with time, right? Everything you can conceive is possible, but it requires time, right? You can't do it tomorrow, but it is time. People who wanted to travel to the New World, it was possible. They had a dream. It was possible. But it took time, right? It took time for them to create the boats that were going to be able to make it across the ocean. It took time for them to actually get here and settle. It took a couple generations for them not to kill themselves off with diseases and things, right? It took time. And now that journey is you can fly overseas. Now you can go in different countries in a matter of hours, right? So everything you want in life is possible in time. It's just a matter of you having the patience and a blueprint to be able to do that. And so we do visualize what that is for you. We lay out a map of like what that looks like step by step in order for you to do it for over the next 6 years. We call what is the power of 6, right? And so we believe every 6 years, everyone gets a new life and you have new intentions, you have a new space. If you think about it from 6 to 12, 12 to 18, 18 to 24, you're different in each of those phases and it continues on for the rest of your life. And so for every 6 years, you get a new dream, you get a new vision, which is great, right? You don't get stuck. And then, so we lay out that map for the next 6 years of your life. What's that going to look like? And then we bring that down to an accountability strategy. Who are you going to activate in your life to help you stay on track with this? Who are you going to tell and share your vision with? Then final step is we then activate your action plan. And that is calendaring, that is working out, laying out like times to work on things. It's really kind of creating this holistic look at yourself and your business and how you're going to really get there. Not just like, oh yeah, you can do it. I don't believe in rah-rah sessions. I do not believe in rah-rah sessions. The first thing you tell me is I have a dream, I'm gonna do something. I was like, okay, put a date on it. We do not believe in rah-rah sessions. We absolutely believe that if you are serious, don't come to me if you're not serious. We don't want to have a conversation with me if you're not serious. You're serious about really changing your life and getting the most out of your business, then this process will get you there, hands down. And it won't take long. Because you don't have to go through some of the things I had to go through to figure out the process. The process already exists.
I love it. And that's the whole difference about seeking counsel and seeking advice. So in your case, right, they're actually getting counsel from somebody who has been there and done that. I want to see on our post here, did you put your contact information in your bio that you sent me? Yes, it's right there, your URL.
Yeah.
Yep. What I'd like to do, we got like about 5-6 minutes left. So I'd love you to kind of like take over, give us like 3 things that people need, 3 ideas, 3 tips that people can use to achieve success in any part of their life. You pick it. Also give us your contact information and whatever else. And if it's 3 minutes, if it goes to 6 minutes, it's no big deal. Okay.
All right. So, really simple. is that your vision and that your life has to start with you. So the first thing you have to absolutely do is be selfish. And I know that that is counterintuitive. I know that everything that everyone has ever told you is, well, you have to think of others. You can't just think about yourself. You are not the center of the universe. And that has been a lie. You have been lied to your entire life. You absolutely are the center of your universe. So every piece of chaos, every piece of joy is orbiting around you. You have created that as your gravitational pull to who you are. And you can control that. So I want you to understand that we're going to come from a space of power in our own lives. You are the center of your universe, and you are now going to take charge of your life. I want you to think about what it is that you really want. What's your true heart's desire? What from the internal, when people aren't listening, when you don't have to give the PC version of it, that you really, really want to do with your skills, your gifts, your life, your talents. What is that? I want you to write that down, and then I want you to create a world in a written space of what that looks like. How does it feel? You're going to attach your emotions to it. You're going to get really detailed into it. And the reason why it's so important for you to get really detailed and emotionally attached to this is because that is how manifestation starts. It starts from within. It's like a seed planted in your soul. And when you plant that seed in your soul and you begin to do the work of actually taking action towards that goal, you then can grow into the oak tree that you were meant to be. So if you are a bit of an acorn, you will then turn into a giant oak tree, right?
And I've been
And so
called an acorn before.
you have,
Oh, but
yes,
go ahead.
yeah. So you everything you have that you need is within you already. It's there.
Yep, good
It is
stuff.
there. It is literally planting that perfect seed in that perfect soil, in your actions, in your how you speak to yourself, how you speak to others, how you treat every day as an opportunity for you to start anew. I messed up yesterday. It's okay. I'll wake up tomorrow, start over again. It's Groundhog Day, baby. Every day is a new chance to get a new start, right? And so if you wake up every single day in that space, right?
Yep.
Nurturing that dream, watering that seed, and growing it, pretty soon you will see all of the fruits of your labor. You will see a huge oak tree that you're really meant to be. And that is the actionable part. So there's this, I consider my lifestyle a bit weird because it's unconventional. We don't have a microwave. And people are like, well, why don't you have a microwave? This is it's 2020. You should have a microwave. And said, no, I intentionally don't have a microwave, and I have a very tiny refrigerator. Like, well, that doesn't make any sense. And as a matter of fact, my mother-in-law, every time she comes to my house, says, your refrigerator is too small. You need a bigger refrigerator. And where's the microwave? But the reason why is because I have built a life of such intention that I know I want to live a healthy life. And in order to live a healthy life, even down to the food that I put in my body, right? Even down to how we go about snacks and goodies. I still eat cookies and chips and all those things, but I have to put on my shoes, grab my keys, walk down the street, go get it. I get a small serving size. I eat that, and then I move on because I know that for a shadow of a doubt that I am not a real adult. And if those things are in the house, the first choice is not going to be the good, healthy stuff. The first choice is going to be the bad stuff. So I've created a lifestyle around me that supports the life that I really want. And I know that everybody can do it. And if you need extra help, reach out to someone, anyone. But if you really want to kind of take this program, you can go to MinkLife Motivation or MinkLife University. Either one of those websites will get you to us, and we will be able to help you. But lastly, I wanted to offer something special. So if you're listening to this and you are already excited about, like, yeah, I'm ready, let's do this, I want to see a new vision for my life, we are holding a virtual conference on July 11th and 12th. And I am offering a free ticket to anyone who goes on our Instagram page or our Facebook page. And we are going to give you a free ticket to the conference because I want you to be successful. I want you to see the vision for your life. And we are bringing on 36 plus speakers in different expertise to talk about their way of helping vision from their expertise. We have 24 breakout sessions on personal development, on business development, on brand development, and on networking, getting out there and connecting with people. We're going to have 2 powerful days. And I know that anybody who comes to this conference will get something from it, and they will begin those steps of changing their life. So if you right now go to MinkLife Motivation on Facebook or MinkLife University, and you like our page, I will then reach out to you and give you a ticket to our website. It's a person-to-person, baby. Me or somebody from my team will talk to you, and we will make sure that you have a free ticket to our event that is July 11th and 12th. I'm so excited. And Ronald, I just want to thank you for creating this space for entrepreneurs like myself, who this platform is amazing, and you are a gracious and amazing host. And I've had so much fun sitting here and chatting with you. I wish this could go on forever.
Thank you so much. But you have so much to offer, you know what I mean? And you've been through so much. But I love the fact how you didn't allow it to just enable you. And well, now I'm a statistic. You took that, you not only allowed it to empower you, but then you took the massive action, the consistent massive action, day in and day out for years. And then on top of that, now that you're doing okay, you then added to that cake, and now you're creating a program to give back and help others. I mean, it's me who should be thanking you. I mean, and there's so many other people out there that need, you know what I mean? Because, everybody goes through what they go through, but having somebody who's been there and done that, giving them a step-by-step way, because we all see the people when we go to the events, and everybody's slick, and they got the words, and they're using the NFT, and they got you all, that they're negative over here, my bad life here, and then they're selling all the good books, and their stuff is over here, so now they're anchoring, and oh my God. But so I love when someone like you, because he's just so real, raw, and relatable. And you overcome so much, but then you went on to give back by creating this program. So thank you. Kudos to you.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else you want to say in closing?
No, I'm just so gracious for just this time and space, and for you trusting me with your brand and your show. Because, it's always about trust and making sure that people have a good synergy. And so I want to thank you so much for this opportunity.
We could go another minute or two if you wanted to keep thanking me for something. You know what I mean? We could think of something, right? It could be
Thank you for wearing blue.
I kind of enjoy that. Yeah, thank you. It's really nice. I appreciate it. I'm grateful that I have an opportunity to do this and give back. And for me, it's good too. You know what I mean? Because we all have a history, right? So it's nice.
We're all in this together.
Yeah, we all are. All right. So I want to thank you very much. You've been a great guest. And I'm going to sign off now. I'm going to close out the show. And then I'm going to have to start the process of posting everything up. Okay?
Sounds good.
Thank you very much.